Good morning. It looks like it's going to be local banks for the win. We have started seeing some funding as early as yesterday to small businesses, and that funding is coming from local banks. We haven't seen anything from any of the larger banks yet, so we're still waiting to see about that. And what I'm referring to is the Paycheck Protection Program. This is the program that was enacted with the CARES Act about 2 weeks ago today. And the intent of that program was to get cash in the hands of small businesses and profits as quickly as possible, and so that they didn't have to lay off employees. I believe the reasoning was that it would be less expensive to get the cash into the hands of the businesses and nonprofits than to fund all of the unemployment that would happen as a result of the federal and state mandates on the businesses. And it looks like the unemployment rate I'm not sure how much it's helped with the unemployment because it's taking so long to get the money into the hands of the businesses. They've already laid off the employees. So it'll be interesting to see if they are able to rehire the employees that have been laid off, if this program will be a success or not. So what happened is it was kind of a Hail Mary pass thrown down the field by Congress and the president to put $350 billion into the local banks and the large banks to get that money through the banks into the hands of the businesses and nonprofits. But while the Hail Mary was being thrown, the SBA was still in the huddle, and they may still be in the huddle. So we're waiting to see if they are going to be able to actually get the money out in time to save the jobs, which was the intent of the program. What we've seen so far is the banks want to lend this money. They get a 5% fee for lending out this money. However, if the loans are not forgiven, then they will be carrying these loans at 1%, and they don't really want to do that. So what we're seeing is that they're loaning the money on the part of the program that has been made relatively clear, and that's wages. So if you are a business and you had W-2 wages in 2019, from what I've seen so far, they're taking the 2019 W-2s, 941s, so that they could substantiate the amount of payroll you have. They're loaning on 2.5 times those amounts, and 2.5 times the average of those amounts. So if you had $120,000 worth of payroll in 2019, your average monthly payroll would be $10,000. They're loaning on 2.5 times that, so $25,000. And that would be the amount of your loan. That money would be directly deposited into your bank account. If you spend that over an 8-week period on payroll, that amount is forgiven, and the bank doesn't have to carry your loan at 1%. So from what I've seen, the banks want to lend on payroll if they can get the paperwork together, and every bank we've dealt with is asking for something different. So I think your best chance is to go with your local bank if you don't already have a relationship with a commercial lender at a local bank. This loan is going to be very difficult for you to get, and I believe that the funding will run out before many of the small businesses are able to get the information together that is needed. I haven't seen anyone get this on self-employed income, strictly self-employed income. And I think that's because the banks have no idea what type of supporting documents are going to be required for the federal government to forgive these loans. So that's where we're at with the PPP. Remember, there's also available the EIDL loan. We've seen nothing from that, nothing. So there's the PPP. We have seen funding on that for payroll. The EIDL, we've seen nothing. The employee retention credit, I haven't seen anybody file for that. I'm not recommending that my businesses do that, just because you can't do the PPP and the EIDL, and the employee retention credit And the businesses that would be most helped under the employee retention credit, where your benefit from that would be greater than it is for the triple P. I've done a couple of quick calculations, and it looks like if you have employees that earn $24,000 or less, you would benefit from, you would have more debt for, or more loan forgiven under the employee retention credit than you would under the triple P, from the way I've seen it working so far. So we still don't have good clarification, but from what I've seen so far, my recommendation is apply for that triple P, then apply for the EIDL. The employee retention credit will still be available all the way through the end of the year. So you do have time to see how the triple P and the EIDL play out. And then you can always come back and get that credit. I believe it expires December 31st. So I don't know if that means you have to apply before December 31st or by December 31st, or if you can do this as a part of your tax return preparation and apply it to the period ending December 31st of 2020. So we'll do some more research on that and see if we can figure that out. In the meantime, we are still working with all of our businesses, local lenders, trying to get these loans pushed through. Everybody requires something different. The lenders are very hesitant to lend this money. I believe because they don't want to get stuck with 1% loans. So that's where we're at today, and I will keep you posted. Have a great day.